I'm about to show you how I was able to get this mix to sound from sounding like this to sounding like this. This is what we're going to be covering today. You see? And also the mindset right there. So, the first thing I wanted to cover in this first video is mindset. And what do I mean by mindset? Is the mindset that hold us back as a music producer, artist, or audio engineer. So I have my note right down here on this board. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes. Now, number one mindset I want you to break that's going to help you get a very good professional sounding mixes is the mindset of expensive gears. And I remember, when I was in the industry, I'm still in the industry, but I kind of take a little break. So, I used to think that for my music to sound professional like the ones we hear on the radio, I have to buy this, $15,000 gear, analog gear, and all that. Neve 1073 preamp, Tube Tech, all this $15,000, tube microphones, and high pristine precision, done analog conversion gears and stuff. And the audio industry, they kind of take advantage of our insecurity, just like the makeup industry took advantage of the women insecurity. How you tell them, oh, you need this to look beautiful, and the selling makeup, still selling makeup to today. And I think the audio industry did the same thing to us. And I was a victim of that too, until I realized that, man, I bought all this gears, I bought all these plugins, but my mix is still not getting better. And that's one of them. And the other stuff I want to talk about is the guarded secrets, because the generation before us, especially the hired guns, the ones that do the mixes that you really love for the major label, artists, they guard the secrets that is so hard out there to get any valuable information. We were taught by the school of the YouTube University because you go to YouTube, you trying to get information, and you spend thousands of hours researching all this information, and you will realize that there's something missing. It's not connected. There's a whole puzzle that's not connected together. You can't really understand, okay, what is the right process to get what I want? And I was in the same, boat until, now recently that I got out of that boat and I have the sound that I really love. And this is what this crash course is all about. It's a 5 video. The 5th video, I'm gonna show you the technical know-how, I'm gonna take you into the door and show you step by step how I got my mixes to sound from, sounding like an amateur and sound professional. So, but the first 4 videos, we're gonna talk about, important pillars and keys to set your mind right. But this mindset video is very important. This is kind of prep your mind to what we need to cover for the other videos. The second video is going to be vocal mixing techniques. So this first video, I want to cover some basics for you. The expensive gear, you got to get out of that boat. And also the audio industry lied to us to sell us more plugins and more analog gears, thinking, oh, this is what you need to get a professional sounding mix. That's another lie. And the third one is the guarded secrets. I just talked about that to get this information, you have to pay with your life. I mean, actually be a rookie or an intern for one of the grades and spend at least 2 to 5 years of your time and not getting paid before you can get this type of knowledge. Then the last topic I have here is no shortcut. And that's what I had to realize is there is no shortcut. If you want to be great, you want to be a great mix engineer, the one that make those type of mixes that is so super clean, is professional, and is emotional, and it invoke emotion from your audience, there is no shortcut. And you know what? You and I both know deep down, there's nothing that's great that you can get just easily. Well, we're still always looking for that cheat sheet, that template, that preset, you know? There is no shortcut. You want to be great, you got to do the work. There's no other way around it. That's why the record label engineers, like, you know, the Pensados, the Jason Joshua, Man American, all of them, the Chris Lord RG, for them to be able to give you the secrets that they've acquired for 20, 30 years, you have to serve them. You have to, you know, put in life, like your time of, you know, your age. You got to go in 20, come out 40 years old. Yeah, that's the way it is. And I'm 42 right now, and I've been searching for this knowledge for 20 years, I'm telling you. And I wish this type of classes and education was available for me when I was surfing through the internet looking for this information. And I didn't have 10 or 15 years to spend at the feet of a master sensei to get the knowledge. I was in the industry, I was recording artists, I was, you know, trying to get placement with major label artists. I had a studio in Burbank, I was doing all that. So I didn't have that time, even though I wouldn't mind doing it. Well, first of all, I couldn't find someone to do it with. And even if I did, I had to like make the, you know, a choice, a live choice is like, okay, do I stop my production company and the team that I'm with and go serve a master for 2 to 5 years or however long the master, you know, decide to give you this secret. So I took the hardest route. So I said, you know, I'm going to do this myself. And I'm still learning, but I'm way ahead, you know, compared to where I was before. I love my sound right now, and I'm gonna play you some before and after in this video so you can understand what I'm talking about. And if you don't like my sound, that's cool. You don't have to learn from me. But if you like what you hear, I'm ready to give it to you on a platter of gold. You don't have to serve me, sensei, for 15 years. So this is video 1. So video 2, we're gonna go into vocal mixing techniques. And before I wrap up this video 1, I want to talk briefly about the modern techniques of mixing. Just the foundation I want to talk about. So how I was able to get this mix that I'm talking about in this whole crash course for you to sound professional. And what I used to do back then that didn't work, and you know, the system that I've created right now that works for me, is you have to think in terms of color. And because we in the digital realm right now, and the engineers before us, they have a lot of color to play with. And they have techniques, they have color, they have all kinds of stuff. But what we're missing most of the time, the big thing I think we're missing right now in the digital realm is color. Our mixes they're too sterile, it's too digital, they don't have enough color to it. So you want to drill it into your mind that when you trying to get that sound that you fall in love with on the radio 10, 20 years ago or now, those sound, they have colors in them. They have multiple palettes of color. So you have to, on your MixBuss, actually, I would advise you to fire up your MixBuss right now and pull up a mix session that you want to work with, and let's go through it with the video 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and start to implement this and hear the differences. I want you to go on your MixBuss right now, and you don't have to have any third-party plugins, but if you do, put a saturation plugin or a distortion plugin on your MixBuss. And if the plugin has a dry and wet, turn it down to like 5% to 10% and just find a sweet spot between there. and pick any plugins that you have available to you. If you're on FL Studio, Logic Pro, Ableton Live, all the crap don't matter. You know, the engineers before us, they only have mixing board. You know, there is no DAW. The DAW is just ones and zeros. It doesn't have nothing to your sound, please. That's another me. You need to get off that boat. It don't matter what DAW you're using. They're computers, ones in, zero out. It doesn't have nothing to your sound. It's only just workflow. Okay, I prefer the workflow on this one. I prefer that to that one. That's it. So get off that boat too. So pick a saturation plugin or a distortion plugin, something that has color, you know. Put that on your MixBuss right now. If you have maybe 2 different ones, put the 2 different ones. If you have just one, duplicate it twice. Between 5% and 10%. Add that to your MixBuss. And if you have a multi-band compression, add it to your MixBuss and set the ratio to 2:1. And, you know, slow attack, maybe like between 50 to 100 milliseconds of attack, and the release between 100 to 250 of release. And just pull down your ratio till you get like a dB or 2 reduction. That's your MixBuss right there. Then EQ, you don't really need to do anything with EQ. Just trying to take off the super low and the super high, maybe a cut around 20 and 20K or 18K on the top. That's about it. And sometimes I like to cut out a little bit of maybe 180 hertz, just between 180 and 250, just dip it down a bit. You know, you don't have to do it, but you know, I do that sometimes. So that's it for video 1, man. I didn't want this to be long, but watch out for video 2. We're gonna start with vocal mixing, modern vocal mixing techniques. And video 3 is gonna be about drum mixing. Video 4 is gonna be about music mixing. And video 5 is, you know, the whole techniques of everything together. So see you in the next video. Make better sounding record. Bommy Solomon.